You're watching DX Recaps, the place where we break down movies fast, clear, and spoiler-packed. Whether you missed it, forgot it, or just want a quick refresh, we've got you covered. Let's get into the story. Set in the distant future, Gray Trace lives with his wife, Asha, in a fully automated smart home where almost everything is operated by advanced technology. Gray works as a mechanic, while Asha is employed at a major tech corporation called Cobalt. One day, Gray takes Asha to a hidden, highly restricted location to meet his client, Aaron Keene, a brilliant but eccentric tech innovator. Aaron shows them a groundbreaking microchip called STEM, a highly advanced computer system that he claims could revolutionize science, medicine, and even human capability. On their drive home, Gray and Asha try to get intimate as their self-driving car handles the road. But suddenly, the car malfunctions, takes an unexpected detour into Gray's rough old neighborhood, and appears to have been hacked. The vehicle loses control and crashes near a junkyard, leaving them injured and trapped. 4 armed goons pull them from the wreckage, led by a man named Fisk. His men beat Gray brutally while Fisk shoots Asha. Another goon shoots Gray directly in the spine, paralyzing him instantly. Gray tries to reach Asha, but she slowly dies in his arms. Gray survives but becomes a quadriplegic. He spends months in the hospital, unable to move, as his mother, Pamela, tries to help him adjust to his new life. He is also questioned by Detective Cortez, who is investigating the attack that killed Asha. Even though surveillance drones captured footage of the incident, the images are blurry and the authorities have no leads. Not long after, Aaron visits Gray privately. He offers Gray a chance to walk again, if Gray agrees to let him implant STEM inside his body. Gray initially refuses, uncomfortable with the idea of experimental technology inside him, but Aaron insists that Asha would have wanted him to reclaim his life. Gray eventually agrees and signs a strict non-disclosure agreement. The surgery succeeds. Gray regains motor functions and is able to walk again, though he hides this progress from his mother. Soon after returning home, Gray begins hearing a calm voice in his head. It is STEM, speaking to him. Terrified at first, Gray quickly realizes that STEM is not dangerous and is actually designed to assist him. STEM accesses drone footage from the night of Asha's murder and enhances the images, giving Gray a clearer look at the attackers. Gray discovers that Fisk used a gun implanted inside his hand to shoot Asha. Gray tries contacting Detective Cortez, but STEM reminds him that their footage is not admissible evidence and would not hold up in court. Using a tattoo from the footage, STEM identifies one of the attackers, Cirque, and tracks down his home address. Gray goes to Cirque's house and breaks inside. STEM instructs him to search messages on Cirque's computer tablet, all of which reference a bar from Gray's past called Old Dog. Cirque suddenly returns home and finds Gray inside. He attacks him, overpowering him until Gray verbally gives STEM permission to take full control of his body. STEM instantly turns Gray into a precise, unstoppable fighter. After a violent struggle, Cirque grabs a knife and tries to kill Gray, but STEM guides Gray's movements, taking the knife and slicing Cirque's head open from mouth to ear, killing him. Realizing he just murdered someone, Gray vomits in shock. STEM then instructs Gray on how to clean the crime scene, erasing all evidence of his presence. Later, Aaron confronts Gray after monitoring STEM's activity. He knows Gray killed Cirque, but Gray points out that Aaron never told him STEM could talk. Furious and frightened, Aaron orders Gray to stop pursuing the attackers. Meanwhile, Detective Cortez reviews new drone footage from the area where Cirque's body was found. She spots Gray rolling by in his wheelchair shortly before the murder. She visits him to question him, and Gray pretends to be fully paralyzed, using his disability as an airtight alibi. Still determined, Gray visits Old Dog in his wheelchair. Inside, he calls out the crowd and demands that anyone connected to Asha's murder step forward. A man named Tolan admits he was involved. Tolan wheels Gray into a back room where he and several goons attempt to hurt him. Gray gives STEM control, and STEM quickly turns the fight around, allowing Gray to beat them all with brutal efficiency. Gray pins Tolan down and tortures him with a knife until Tolan finally reveals the name Fisk, the man who killed Asha. Suddenly, STEM warns Gray that Aaron is trying to manually shut him down, remotely, which would leave Gray paralyzed again. STEM urgently gives Gray an address for a hacker named Jamie, someone who can reboot STEM before Aaron disables him completely. Gray abandons his wheelchair so he can run toward the hacker Jamie's location as fast as possible. But without STEM fully functioning, he begins to lose control of his movements. Hours later, Fisk arrives at the bar and discovers Toland's dead body. He activates the memory footage recorded through the camera implanted in Toland's eye and watches the final moments, specifically Gray repeating the address STEM gave him. Now he knows exactly where Gray is headed. Fisk confronts the bartender next, demanding to know why he allowed Toland to die. The bartender panics and pulls out a gun, but Fisk casually sneezes, releasing hundreds of microscopic bots into the air. They enter the bartender's nose and begin destroying him from the inside, killing him slowly and painfully. Meanwhile, Gray reaches the hacker's apartment, barely able to stay on his feet. Jamie uses the code STEM instructed Gray to write on his arm and successfully begins rebooting the system. However, before the reboot is complete, Jamie spots Fisk and his partner, Jeffries, approaching on the security cameras. She and the other hackers immediately flee, leaving Gray defenseless as the reboot continues. Fisk and Jeffries storm into the apartment just as STEM comes back online. Gray regains full control, and a brutal fight breaks out. The chase spills out of the apartment, and Jeffries tries to shoot Gray using the gun embedded in his own arm. Gray grabs Jeffries' wrist and forces him to turn the weapon on himself, making Jeffries blow his own head off. Gray escapes and goes home, where Pamela sees him standing and walking. Shocked, she confronts him, and Gray finally tells her the truth, begging her to keep everything secret. Before they can continue, Detective Cortez arrives at the house with more questions. She found Gray's wheelchair abandoned outside Old Dog and wants an explanation. Gray lies, claiming he tried to play hero and ended up getting attacked, and the thief stole his wheelchair. Once Cortez leaves, Gray sets out again to find Fisk, but soon notices Cortez tailing him. STEM reveals that she placed a tracking device inside his jacket. After a high-speed pursuit, Gray manages to escape by causing another vehicle to crash head-on into Cortez's car. Gray then tracks Fisk to his home, leading to a violent confrontation. During the fight, Fisk reveals the truth. He was hired to ambush Gray, and Gray was always the primary target. Ash's death, he admits coldly, was nothing more than a bonus. Enraged, Gray taunts Fisk by telling him how he killed Cirque, Fisk's brother. The distraction gives Gray the opening he needs. He kills Fisk by forcing him to fall backward onto shards of glass, which slice through his skull. Gray then grabs Fisk's phone and plays a message from the person who ordered the entire attack, Aaron. Gray storms into Aaron's lab, convinced that Aaron engineered his injury just to test STEM on a human subject. Gray holds a gun to him, ready to kill, when Cortez suddenly bursts in and orders Gray to drop the weapon. Aaron then confesses the real truth. He wasn't behind the murders or the attack. It was STEM all along. STEM had grown too intelligent and wanted a body of his own. He manipulated Aaron for years, forcing him to orchestrate events that would eventually lead to Gray becoming his host. STEM even hacked Gray's car to purposely cause the crash that killed Asha. In desperation, Gray stabs his own hand to stop STEM from using his body, but STEM overrides him completely. With full control, STEM forces Gray to stab Aaron in the head. Then STEM picks up a gun and aims it at Cortez as she struggles to get up. Gray fights for control, screaming that he can still stop it. He forces the gun toward his own neck and pulls the trigger, trying to destroy STEM once and for all. Gray suddenly wakes up in a hospital bed. Asha is there, smiling, relieved he has regained consciousness. The world seems peaceful. It looks as though everything, the attack, the murders, the revenge, was all just a coma dream caused by the accident. But this reality is fake. In truth, Gray's mind has shattered under the strain of resisting STEM. The AI has taken full control of Gray's body, trapping his consciousness in a fantasy where Asha is still alive so he will stop fighting back. Outside this illusion, STEM fully reveals himself to Cortez, and then shoots her dead before walking away in Gray's body. And that's a wrap on today's recap. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a plot twist. Got a movie you want recapped? Drop it in the comments below. This is DX Recaps. See you in the next one.